policy that brought the disagreements in as
You're live.
the State Department Special Envoy, who's talked with the Taliban as he came up with a draft agreement. Bolton asked to see a copy of it reportedly, and they refused to send him over a draft of the agreement. They said if you wanted to come in and read it, but they would not give him a copy to take out. Or he just didn't think that
I'm still testing out this live streaming.
Was a good one, and he was quite open and vocal about that. So this month, when there was a meeting at the White House between all the principals, really.
Live streaming is helping. So trying to see if this microphone is working. There's somebody. Hey, welcome to my live stream. Go ahead and hit me with a super chat. Well, it looks like this. It looks like me sharing my homework with you guys is helping. So here's what I got. I think what's happening here is the mob, whoever, the police, they're sending out bounty hunters. And they're saying, get this guy dead or alive. Bring him in dead or alive. And nobody will turn me in. Well, I mean, what y'all going to do? Put bounty? Y'all, what's the bounty on my head? Why don't y'all just go ahead and give it up and admit that you lost and I won? Why you keep on sending these bounty hunters out into my neighborhood? Stop saying end the invasion. Hashtag end the invasion. It's more than about people coming and going around here. It's about controlling our borders. On this software program where you open up Adobe Photoshop, save a giant palette. Whenever you save that information to a QR code, then you could do some type of digital torrent, present the data being saved into a QR code. And if you do it right, you will really be able to see this data going. It'll look like you can do transitions is what you're going to do. Say you open up an image in this program and you want to save that image to a QR code. Then there should be a transition that happens whenever you push save to QR code. And what that will be is you could use a genie effect, a tornado effect. So I'm trying to encourage y'all to, whenever you're compiling this data on the screen, to make these digital effects. It might be the key to mastering this encryption. Aquarius over Pisces into Aries. That's what the problem with the zodiac is. What they got is your enemy is to your left. So Aquarius, they make you fight against Pisces, and then Pisces is fighting against Aries. So what happens is Pisces is sandwiched in between Aquarius and Aries, and Aquarius keeps on running over Pisces, and that's why they're a dustbin, and everybody's throwing their junk on a Pisces. Everybody loves fish. Selling out crowds, then you should be selling out stadiums. If you're selling out crowds, you should be selling out stadiums. There's nothing worse than seeing a stadium on a whatever event that's happening and half of the seats are empty. So if I had a baseball team or if I was running one of these stadiums, You selling tickets. What I'm wanting to do is take Judaism to the masses with these stadiums. And then after the prayers are over, well, y'all can have breakout. That's what they love is these breakout sessions. That means you rented out the convention center and you want to have a breakout session. I guess what I'm gonna do is I might just leave his computer running. We'll see how long we can keep this live stream going. We're having cyber war. I'm using my neighbor's internet connection, and they keep trying to kick me off the line. The cyber war has been fierce. Well, what I'm trying to tell them, if y'all know my location, my name is Timothy Darrell Whitaker, security. If y'all know my 20 and y'all see these bounty hunters coming through town, y'all got to end this war. You can't be trying to act like, all right, here's my question. If y'all win and you're a bounty hunter and you take me into custody, what good is that going to do for you, people? You want me to keep trying to serve the community. That's what we want, productive members of society. So if y'all capture me and you take me in, what am I gonna do? Go to the county jail? You're gonna try to drag me into your club, or what do you expect from me? Stop sending your bounty hunters to my front door. Y'all go fight your war somewhere else. Leave me out of it. Y'all got to realize that I'm trying to end this, and y'all want to send your bounty hunters to my front door and act like you can't find me. We can't find them. That's what Masonry is. They're looking for the lost keys of Freemasonry. Just because you build a gate don't mean that you're going to have possession of that gate. You can't build 100 gates and expect to guard them all. You have to get a guard to guard each gate if it's worst case scenario. And that's what was happening is these people got a lot of gates and they expect us to guard them for them. So what benefit are y'all really going to get by taking me into custody? What you see is what you get. Well, what I need is these Libra Scorpios. Y'all got to stand up for me. Here's who I got sitting across the table from. This is the name I couldn't remember earlier. Sebastian Gorka, Netanyahu of Israel, and then Drake. Drake, I see you over there. You need to help me stay up on my high horse, Libra. A fire and earth. The reason why I like this WWE, it is the reason why it's the longest standing live television program. WWE Monday Night Raw is the longest running live program, or with the most viewers. But anyway, a lot of people tuning into it. And well, what you got on here, you got Stone Cold. Well, I tell Stone Cold what we got to deal with is these August 20th people. How are we going to get these people like Bill Clinton to cooperate? Or Warren Buffett? Warren Buffett wants the whole buffet to himself, don't he? Anyway, that's why I try to tell old Stone Cold, you and John Cena got to team up and somehow siphon some money out of Vince McMahon. That's Virgo. The only person you ever control is you. These people got an obsession trying to control other people. That's ridiculous. All you have control over is your emotions. That's the only thing in the world you have control over. So if your emotions are out of control, you're out of control. You need to get control of your emotions. We can work on that. We got to demand our rights. If these people took us into custody, they'd made us into slaves. They owe us. They owe us big. That means you got to demand your food stamps, demand your Section 8 housing, demand your benefits. But the kids go first. So we got to demand our rights, but we got to get it for the children first. So the kids and the women eat before the men do. Sellout crowds, free tickets, stadium takeover. I already talked about that. If I was trying to run a stadium, what I'd try to do is turn it into a religious organization. Like I said, if you watch some of these events and they're empty stadiums, it makes you wonder, well, why in the heck isn't this stadium full? And can we rent it out after these people leave? That's what I'm trying to challenge the religious people. Y'all need to take over a stadium and then hold it down. Then that's what they're doing. Uh, so that's what y'all what they had was a prisoner swap over here in Ukraine with the Russians. So what y'all got is that NATO line over there. They got a line from the Black Sea going north on the Ukraine border. So y'all got to focus on. It's another important border there, and y'all got to figure out a deal to where y'all can, once y'all get this border situation under control and y'all get these borderlands. That's what we're having to deal with here is these borderlands, and that means if you end up with a line of people waiting to get through a gate, then that's a business opportunity. Those people are hungry and they need a place to eat, and so you need to you can, if we put them to work and they always have ability just to walk into a job, and we have a place for them to stay. If you are full capacity, then you're gonna have to wave them on. But if y'all have room, then bring somebody in. And then when we keep shuffling people around, eventually everybody will get back to the place where they want to be, or they'll find a place where they like and stay there. That's the goal. We want the goal is to get people to be productive members of society and also holding down a post. So if we have to hold down post before we can be productive again, then we got to get security right before we can get the manufacturing going again. You ever seen how these kids get surprised when they get a look on their face when they look at surprised? Like what I was thinking is when these kids see some of these things on these video games, they should be getting excited about it. Well, kids, I'm trying to get y'all to go fishing in the rivers and play in the river as opposed to being cooped up all the time. But right now, well, we want that kids to be on that look to be on kids' faces. You know how people are. You know how children are. They get that look in their face. They're all surprised, excited. I think that's what this video game may be, because when y'all have more fun playing this game than you do playing games in the real world, then it's gonna be hard to get people off of this game. Well, we got to figure out a way to get everybody off of it, and the way we do it is to prove that life without machines is better. So, in order to prove that life without machines is better, then somebody's got to come up with a colony, a community to where everybody's happy. And if somebody's unhappy, then we do something about it. Here's what I was wanting to get at. When you put your work in, you could talk about your blessing. And what's happening here is people are putting their work in around here, but instead of being able to talk about their blessing and say you paid your dues, what they're doing is they're saying, no, you didn't pay your dues. You're locked in there now. They're trying to pretend like they're going to turn us into some open air prison. That's what they're trying to do around. They're trying to create a dystopia around me. And what I'm saying is, I see these people on the streets coming by the house, swarming around here. You want to treat me like I'm your bike. I'm gonna get up on that bike and ride it. That's what they're trying to do to me. They want to get on me. Well, we're trying to put an end to that. Y'all trying to stomp on. You think people are stepping stones, and you got to stomp on me. You're wrong. So if people put in their work, then they can talk about their blessing. So if all people are trying to do is come by my house here, and that's all the work that I'm asking them to do, Just ride by the house and say, yeah, I rode by his house, to get bragging rights about it. Then when people come through, you'll have a way to make money around here without having to have some type of war on me. Well, these people in Manhattan, they're saying, nah, you ain't running stuff from Kentucky. We want you in our headquarters, and we don't want our headquarters to be challenged. And I'm saying, since you all keep showing up over here at my house unannounced, then I have to try to set my foot down. So if people come by here and they put their work in and they're tired of working in this community, then what they should be able to say is, I put my work in for the boss man. I patrolled in front of his house. Well, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And these people, they act like they're getting a little bit too friendly. So you know what you have to do? You have to move them to the other side of the world. Welcome to your free trip around the world. Now get out there and tell everybody that I'm here. You can talk about your blessing. When people are competing to get over here and just to walk in front of my house and you've already been here, well, I'm trying to get to where I'm interacting with the public more. And I'd like to get a job. If I have to get a job working with the public, that's fine. But all of this, y'all got bounty hunters coming by here, but not letting them put their work in and talk about their blessing. The reason why they want a big budget. These people running things, they're used to having, hey, buddy, go get that for me. They used to having people running for them. And y'all are wanting to come over here and work for me. And these people are trying to steal the people that's trying to work with us. We're trying to build this business together. We're building this empire together. And we just crushed their own empire. We crushed them. And instead of just admitting that they lost, they want to keep sending their bounty hunters by here. And the bounty hunters are fed up with it. Y'all want to run everything from secure locations and make my operation insecure. That's wrong. If people put their work in around here, they paid their dues. There's got to be a way for people to pay their dues. And if all they have to do to pay their dues is drive by my house, then so be it. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And it's not good for the gander or the goose for me not to be able to sing. You ever heard the Jews or the canaries in the coal mine? Well, I tell you what, you know how much I want to sing right here now? Not very much at all. Why? Because when the canary dies in the coal mine, he stops singing. And that means everybody leaves. And y'all, I don't even want to sing. Why? Because y'all trying to send a bounty hunter and set him on my front doorstep. And I'm saying, nah, get you and your people and Kim Jong-un in South Korea out off my, yeah, they moved, the military moved in over here across the street. And I see these people putting their work in. That means they should be able to talk about their blessing. I was over at the boss man's house. If that's what you have to say, well, if it's not true, it's not true. But if it's true, then I guess there's a competition to get over here. And if there's a competition to get over here, I want to wave them all through. But now what they're trying to do is create gridlock over here. And if these people put their work in around here, I think that they paid their dues. And they want to keep sending them back because they want to see some tax returns. Well, I got your tax returns. Tell headquarters to back up. I want to be happy and I want to sing, and y'all are making it, just you're putting the squeeze on me to where it's about the best I can do sometimes is just sit over here and hide. Well, I'm not trying to hide. My shell is to protect me, not to hide in. And it's wrong whenever you got people wanting to hide. And that's one thing I've learned about this is if you're a leader and your people are scared of you to the point that they're wanting to hide and run away from you, something's wrong. I think your community and your society fell apart. You know what they're doing? They're calling the Haredi or the Chabadniks or the Satmar. Y'all are, you know what I get on, y'all are on the media, since y'all are giving the military a lot of problems. Y'all are the Taliban, and I'm Donald Trump, and y'all want to come over here and have a Shabbaton. And I'd say if some Chabadniks showed up, if some Chabadniks showed up, or some Satmar or whoever, and you could Talmud Torah and you could convince me to get in the vehicle, I'll probably ride off with you. Well, I mean, you're not allowed to kidnap a Jew, but if y'all come over here and you say you send me an email saying you want to start your welcome, come on up to the Chabad house, or then we'll have no choice but to try to join with you. But because this is a security nightmare, it's hard for me to put anybody. It seems like anybody that I'm around, it ends up being a dangerous situation. So if y'all kidnap me, if I voluntarily get kidnapped, because they always keep wanting to send in these bounty hunters, then I'm trying to find a solution here, and it seems like y'all just want to. Some people want to get here, and then other people's are wanting to block. And I think it's all ridiculous. Y'all are making a big to do about nothing, and that's all I ask is if somebody puts the work in around here, and all I'm asking to do is just walk up and down the alley or up and down the street, just pass that by my house. That's all I ask you to work. You pass by my house, you get a year off work. Whatever y'all had to come up with. That's the crucible for me. We want to keep this place open for business and create a security system that lasts. One that you could put on autopilot and it'll still keep running. I want to be at peace with my neighbors. And when y'all keep sending new people in all the time, it's difficult for me to maintain my neighborhood. I give up. I just say, well, heck, if I'm going to get gerrymandered down to my little room, then why should I keep trying to work to gain more territory? I pray all the time God will expand my territory. But when you expand your territory and you meet a bunch of knuckleheads and they're wanting to, y'all are trying to pay these people to haul me in dead or alive. And now they're saying it's more valuable to haul this guy in alive than dead. So anybody trying to haul me in dead, they're getting ran out of here. What that means is they're trying to court me. They're trying to court the opposition. Well, like I said, if somebody puts their work in around here, they should be able to talk about their blessing. That's what they can talk about in the hood and in this rap music. I got that from a song. You put your work in here, you could talk about your blessing. And if y'all make this new legend up, you know how the Masons are. They love making up new legends. Who's that guy in that house? He's been over there forever. He's lived there he's 100 years old, and that's a haunted house over there. All you got to do is walk by there, and he'll pay you $100,000 just to walk in front of his house. And if you shut this highway down, I got $1 million for somebody to shut this highway down. Never mind. Keep it open for business. We got to keep business flowing. And that's why I'm trying to tell Wall Street, y'all are trying to buy my security system off of me, use it against me. Y'all are trying to use my security system against me. And if these Taliban, what I call them is the religious people, if they show up and they want to pick me up and take me to a undisclosed location and we're studying the Torah together, then fine. But if I had to meet people in Jerusalem, I guess we gotta. What they want now is a clean Brexit. That means they can cut their losses and move on. But I'm saying no clean Brexit. Y'all took us into slavery, and when you took us into slavery, that means you owe us. We have the right to enslave you, but we've refused to enslave you, because then you would have the right to enslave us. And if somebody enslaves you, you have a right to enslave them. And these digital pirates, they came over here and enslaved me. And they like to keep it that way. And I'm saying, no, I have a right to enslave you back, but because I refuse to do it, then you enslave me and I'm better off because I refuse to enslave you back. If I tried to enslave you back, then you could enslave me. But because I refuse to enslave anybody, unless it was an absolute last resort, then what that means is you have to acknowledge the fact that I mastered you. You enslaved me. I refuse to enslave you back. So that means you got mastered. And instead of accepting and acknowledging the truth, all you can do is keep sending in these bounty hunters. And I'm telling these bounty hunters is head on out of town. You earned your bounty. All you had to do was pass by the house. So put your work in. You talk about your blessing. That what you know what that means? That allows for this place to become gentrified. That means we can accept new money into this community, and we can flip this property really fast now. And well, if you put your work in around here, you should be able to talk about your blessing. But instead, what they're doing is they're making people come back. No, you didn't do a good enough job. Go back over there, try again. And I'm saying, no, they put their work in. You keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So these people around here want to try to act like they're my best enough best friends around here. Y'all got to get, y'all might have to. Well, if you end up getting bought off and you get moved to the other side of the world, I'll have to get people in here to look like you to take your spot. We're going to have to get people in here that look like you to take your spot because you're going to get moved to the other side of the world. And I don't care if you're a man, woman, or a child. I guess the children, let them come. But you adults, I mean, welcome to the real world. Well, I'm going to leave this live stream going, but that's what I would like to say is if you're trying to be a little bit too nice to me and everything, move to the other side of the world. That's what the Pharaoh did. And because y'all refuse to accept my authority, you convince me that I'm the man around here. You can't even convince me that I'm running things. And since you can't convince me that I'm in charge around here, which this is my house, I should be in charge. I didn't gerrymander myself all the way to the other side of the world. That's what you all do. I got my spot here. Well, I hope that these people that want to come around here for the right reasons come around here for the right reasons. And these people that want to be bounty hunters, then you pay them to leave. Well, your enemy, you made it to the beginning. You made it. You keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So whoever wants to get here the worst, what do you say? You're my number one enemy. Welcome to Airbnb. Have a fun, nice trip around the world. You made it here. That's all I asked you to do. Then that's Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. All I'm asking you to do is keep the businesses going. And if we do it right, then we'll be able to set up a store in all these different places. And that's game, set, match. If we get to our logo on all these different stores, you know they're beat. That's what they're all is about, is branding. They want to brand their steer. That's why I keep reminding these people, they put us into slavery. That means we have a right to enslave them. But if we refuse to enslave them, then that means they're our equal. And if they're our equal, they better stop treating us like slaves. And if they treat us like slaves, that means they want to enslave us again. And if they want to enslave us again, then you might have to put him where? In the back of the line. So anybody wants to get over here a little bit too bad, whether it be on a video game or in real life, you're getting on the Underground Railroad to Jerusalem, and then there you'll have a real good revolving door there. I got to send them to the other side of the world. You keep your friends close and your enemies closer, you know they're going to get mad, and whenever they have to take a step, get to stepping. You got a little bit too close for comfort. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Why'd you want to get so close to me for? Well, if that's the way we have to do it, fine. But these people that end up getting close to me, you think I'm mad at you? I'm glad that you wanted to get close to me. You was wanting to draw near to me. I'm flattered. Well, what I'm telling you though is I have to pay you now. I have to pay you for getting close to me. And then your payment is you get to leave here. And when you get to leave here, that means you're starting a new thing of a new line. What's the new line? I guess walk in front of my house, drive in front of my house, and then you get to talk about your blessing. I know that's cheesy, but I got to look out for my own security. I want to circle around my house like vultures around a dead carcass. Well, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So since they want to be over here so bad, here's a free trip around the world. How bad do you really want to be here? Well, if you get over here, then you should be paid. I'll pay you to leave. Well, I'm about trying to play regime change wars. Well, I'm going to leave this stream going. So I'm talking loud because I'm not sure if this microphone's working, but I'm going to eat some food. Look, I'll even show you what I'm eating here. You know what they said? Thank you for being transparent. We're sad when you leave. Please keep your live feed going. We're sad. Thanks for the super chat. I'll try to keep my live feed going. Why isn't anybody chatting on my website here? I'm under quarantine. You're being quarantined. You brought God a germ. You're Germany. You're Rothschild. Why did you bring a Jeremy Corbyn over here? You know how you love these selfies. I can't tell if that I got this light behind me. Oh, there we go. These quesadillas, nachos, quesadillas. This is salmon. Well, then I could be at your service. I want to be at your service, but instead I get I'm having chips and salsa. I wish you could come over and eat with me.
National security and the
Maybe I should